Want to go to Joe Cardinale on this, the retired NYPD lieutenant. Joe, always good to see you. This issue of the hours that Frank James was just apparently riding the New York subway system, what do you think of that?
Well, we don't know that for sure yet, Neil. I mean, that's just speculation at this point. I think what Chief Essick from the Detective Bureau had said earlier, it's going to take weeks to put this timeline together. And everybody's in a rush. I know they see TV shows. It's done in between commercials to, get solve the case. But this is reality. And right now they have to build the case against him, further build the case. They already have a great case against him. They want to make sure they do everything with due diligence. Now, one of those things is going to be securing his computer from wherever they find out his residence is, going back over there, get a warrant for that, search the computer records. And also, if he has a cell phone, they're going to go back and search those records and ping that cell phone and find out where he was during that time. It very well could be that he was in the subway system, riding around, maybe to rub it in their faces to say, see, look, I did something, I'm riding around. We don't know that. We don't know, what's in addition to his sick mindset. But I'm sure we will find out given, days to come. And all I can say is thank God the feds are taking this, because Lord only knows what would happen if it was put in the DA's hands in Manhattan.
It is interesting, too, about his ranting and ravings on the internet, on YouTube, dozens of hours, I'm told, maybe more. Just saying all of this slipped through the cracks is sort of like a general cliche, but a lot of this did, prior arrests and all of that. What did you make of that?
Neil, I don't think it's so much the prior arrest, because nothing amounted to, from what I heard today, anything of a felony that would stop him. But we just heard Ohio in your broadcast come into the picture again. So that's 2 times Ohio was mentioned. Right. One for the gun, that it was purchased there in 2011, and now the fireworks. So we know that we're going to go deep into Ohio and find out what's going on. That's probably where he's spending a lot of time, and they'll put a rhyme or reason to that. But the fact that social media today can condemn somebody in one posting and yet let a man like this go on, rant and rave, and never bring it to the attention of the authorities, that's bizarre to me. All right, that's the most bizarre thing, that they can let these rantings go on, these hate rantings, and let them go on. I mean, this is what happens, and then you wait for him to do something before you say, oops, got to pull it back. So, I mean, politics aside, these companies need to, really do a better job at bringing these people to the surface and stopping their rantings and bringing it to the attention of whoever, the FBI, local police, whatever it is, just get them notified somebody about this, because he fell through the cracks that way. I don't think he fell through the cracks being a past criminal for the crimes that he had.
We are seeing Frank James now. What are they going to do with him in this interim? What are they going to do? Let's listen to this, by the way. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Mr. James, anything to say?
What do you say? Everything's guilty. Look this way. What do you say? Do it. Hands over here, you cock walloper.
Oh, now. Innocent until proven guilty. Louis, did you hit video? I hope. Yeah. Okay, good. I would have forgot.
That's it.
I'm gonna. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm gonna head to the car. Sandy, I appreciate your.
Was I okay?
You were perfect.
Where you going, Roka?
We're monitoring this. You might hear something from Frank James, the 62-year-old who police say orchestrated and was behind the attack on that, Brooklyn subway yesterday. And I was rudely interrupting you, Joe. I've been rudely interrupting a lot of people today. But where do they take him? How do they keep him safe? There are a lot of angry New Yorkers right now, rightly so. Maybe help me with the process.
Well, he'll be taken over by the feds. He'll be sent over there, and then the case will be, brought against him by the feds right now. I think later on, if I'm not mistaken, if the Manhattan DA wants to bring additional charges once the feds are done with it, he can do, the same thing. But right now, he'll be put in the custody of the feds, and he'll stay there until his trial. But they'll stop. This case will go on for a long time, and we will definitely hear more about it. His motives may come out. You'll see other things. I mean, we just heard about a storage unit with more ammunition and everything in it. So all these little pieces are going to come to light, as we spoke about yesterday, Neil. It's just a process, and it's the outside cameras and it's the inside cameras. And then I even heard a reporter today say, why didn't the NYPD, why did they let him, why didn't they grab him when he came out of the subway? Well, we would love to grab him when he came out of the subway. This is a timeline that's given to the press so they can get out there and show everybody that this is the man we're looking for. He changed his appearance and everything. And as we stated yesterday, he did, in fact, get rid of his clothing and changed. And that's done many times by perpetrators who commit a crime. They'll dump a sweatshirt, wear a T-shirt. And the subway system is notorious for getting out a certain exit and running up the stairs and just going out to a place that they know they're comfortable with. So I'm sure we'll find out how he went about town. If anybody assisted him, we'll find that out later on too. But right now, the main thing is he's off the street. You know, New Yorkers are a lot safer. And kudos to the New Yorkers that most people run from scenes. Look at all those New Yorkers that stayed at that train station yesterday to help everybody out. That's New York. And they'll get back on the subway. They'll do it every day to go to work. And they'll see something else and they'll say something to somebody, you know. So, you know, it's a partnership between the community and the NYPD. And it was a great job. And hats off to my brothers and sisters in blue. They did a great job. Great job.
They really did. You know, maybe you can help me too, Joe, with this one thing that they arraigned on a charge that pertains to terrorist or violent attacks on a mass transit system. So could you explain that charge? And because it seems terrorist related then, or is he then officially defined as a terrorist?
He will be, because as the federal prosecutor indicated earlier, ever since 9/11, they made the spectrum a little broader for prosecuting terrorism, you know, terrorism crime-related crimes. And he falls into that category because, remember, Neil, the subway system was always threatened, whether it be through nerve gas, whatever they had. You know, they said they were going to, and they wanted to try it out in the subway. It's already been documented that they said they wanted to try the subways at one time prior to the 9/11 attacks, right? So everybody's vigilant in the subways, and the NYPD, contrary to popular, you know, belief, is in the subways doing their job, monitoring other things in the subway. But another key issue right here is, as much as you need a uniform presence in the subway to keep everybody safe, New Yorkers need to know that there's an undercover element, or, you know, a secret element that's out there that looks like your everyday John Q. citizen that's out there doing the same thing, patrolling those subways and the streets, gathering data. And this is why we need to put more effort into it. This new police commissioner, Neil, I think she's doing a great job. I was, you know, very impressed with her press conferences, you know, succinct, to the point, got there, said what she had to say, kept everything short. But give this police commissioner what every other police commissioner had, the tools to do the job. And New York will rebound from almost anything.
All right, because if you've known, you know, between sentencing and bail leniency expressed by another representative in city government, you're getting two different vibes, and I'm sure that worries you.
Oh, of course it worries me. That's why I said, thank God it wasn't put in the hands of the Manhattan DA right now, because we spoke about this as well. You know, this bail reform, this revolving door of justice over here that they're in and out before the paperwork is even done, is ridiculous. We need to get back to basic policing. And if it means locking somebody up for doing the quality of life crimes, then so be it, because that's what affects the subway too, is these quality of life crimes. People should not have to see the things they see and hear the things and be subject to the things that they are because they're afraid of offending somebody. I mean, let's be real right now. Let's get the streets safe. Let's do the job that has to be done. And it starts with the little things.
And there were a lot of little things to this case. Joe Cardinale, thank you very, very much. The retired New York Police Department Lieutenant.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.